Hello, beautiful people. How are you? I'm not going to wait for people to come in. I just wanted to share a story time because it it was a cautionary tale that I really feel like I need to share with you guys. So, I have a cousin who is really pretty. She's really hardworking. She works out all the time. She takes care of herself, works really, really hard. She's a nurse. And she's beautiful, but she doesn't always feel like it. I mean, she doesn't always see it that way. And um, take note when I say that it's all about your perspective and how you see yourself. So she was visiting me a few years ago in New York, and I'm showing her a good time. You know, we're having a girls' night out. She was like dressed to the nines. She's got like the body of the gods. And, we're like having a good time, having fun. So um, we were drinking, and during the course of the night, I got to telling her, man, you are so beautiful. And the more that I started to, compliment her and tell her all the reasons why I was like proud of her, that, or how I thought, how I really felt about how beautiful she was, inside and out, she rejected it. She got emotional. She started crying. And so I've been on this path for some years. I had started doing my shadow work a long time ago. So I couldn't understand why she had such trepidation. Um, hey, Livonia. How you doing, Mama? I couldn't understand why she had such trepidation about me complimenting her and just telling her, how beautiful she was. Because God damn it. I hate, it's the only thing that I hate about being in the city. I love everything else but these fucking sirens at like 11:30 at night. Anyway, but so she had such trepidation, and she really rejected me telling her how I felt. So I just let it go, and sent her pictures, whatever. I took some really great pictures of her that night, and she didn't say anything, but she did end up using a couple for her profile because they were dope. Okay, so fast forward a few years later. The other night, as a matter of fact, I had not been on Facebook a lot the whole day because I had been, I had people visiting and whatnot. I had been busy the whole day. And in one of my groups, whom I consider to be my spirit family, my ride or dies, my here, I just am in love with each and every one of them. They had posted an exercise in the group, just nominating each one of us one at a time for, I don't know. It was, I'm paraphrasing, but it was a beautiful exercise in accepting our divine selves and appreciating each other. It was just a really beautiful exercise in appreciation. And I was so excited when I read that. I'm like, oh my God, this is, perfect. And I'm reading through all the comments and everything, I'm like, shit, I ain't got to say nothing because everybody's saying everything that I want to say. I mean, I love everybody. And then they got to me, and somebody one of them mentioned me and said the most beautiful things, and then people started co-signing, and I had a moment, and I closed my phone up, and I felt like I wanted to cry, and it felt like anxiety, and I had trepidation reading. I'm confessing to my spiritual brothers and sisters over here. So if y'all see, you know who, you know what I did. But I mean, I just had to let you know. But it was at in El's Cafe. I felt like I did years and years and years ago when, I just didn't know who I was, and everything just felt, um, well, I didn't feel anything positive about myself. And if people were to say anything, positive, I would, smile and tell them thank you, but I wouldn't necessarily believe it. I know that I've come a long way from those days, years and years ago, but um, it brought me full circle. And for that moment, I felt like, damn, I understood what my cousin went through at that moment. Just, you know, it's like you revert. So all I'm saying all this to say is that it doesn't matter how long you've been on this path. It doesn't matter how long you've been practicing and that you've been self-aware and that you've done all of your mastery. There's always going to be something that um, throws you for a loop, a trigger, something from your past that you thought that you had completely dumped in the trash can, and you had no longer had use for, and next thing you know, it's sitting there staring you right in your face, calling you a bitch. Yeah. So um, I'm saying all that to say, don't ever forget your shadow work. Um, don't forget your shadow work. You just as much as you are ascending, everything, in all the other facets of your life, um, you're always going to have something to work on, because as long as we are in this realm, on this earth, we are going to be imperfect creatures who eat, sleep, and shit like everybody else. So, hi, Lavonica. Hey, Valerie. My sisters are on here. Yes, Mama. Yes, Livonia. The shadow work. So shadow work is basically just going into really exploring things that give you trepidation. Um, my best, my favorite way of looking at it is it's a sect of fear. Fear does not serve us. Fear is a it's a real construct. It is. People say it's a false construct, but I believe it. It's a real construct. Um, it's there to show us, what we need to work on. However, we do not lead by fear. We do not kowtow to fear. We, as autonomous people who practice, um, spiritual, practice in our spiritual divinity, um, we look at fear, we acknowledge it, and we do that shit anyway because that's just who we are. We are not privy to fear, so fear does not um, It does not stop us in any regard, but it serves a purpose. It always serves a purpose. It gives us perspective, you know. And again, when it comes to looking into your own shadow, so it's important. It's normal for us to have a shadow. Obviously, if there's a light, there's a shadow. Um, so it's not like you're trying to get rid of your shadow. What you are doing is cleansing it. You are, you know, clearing it out. You are throwing all the shit away that weighed you down and made you feel like you were less than. So, and I think that no matter who we are, no matter how we've walked in this life, all of us have had moments where we have felt less than, and we have been told less than by other people or just ourselves. So, and you know, words are wands. You got to know how to use your wand, you know, for you and for everybody else. But it's important. Don't forget your shadow work, you know. Oops. I think I accidentally. Sorry. You don't need to see all my crap around here. Speaking of shadow work, I've got to do some physical clearing of my room, throw some stuff away. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I am going to force myself to go back and look at all the beautiful things that all my brothers and sisters have said about me. Because it's so funny. It's so easy for me to shine a light on everybody else. So easy. It like satiates my heart to lift everyone and to, you know, to lift other people. And I don't ever bullshit. I see beauty in just about everyone that I see. I see beauty. I see, you know, love. I lead with that, you know. I'm not a fucking fairy, or I could be, whoever, who knows, but I'm not, you know, just little Miss Sunshine running around. I'm just me, but that's just how I've always been. But when it comes to receiving it, that's always been a problem. That's always been secretly, quietly. I never responded in a physical, like, rejective way that my cousin did. I never showed anybody, but the shit would make me cringe because it it was extremely hard for me to believe what, you know, this, you know, that someone could return to me what I put out to other people. So that's my shadow work. That's my confession for the evening. Yeah. Yes, Lovey. I am, yep, going back and honoring thyself. I think that anytime that you see, you know, your missteps and, you know, whatever stops you in your tracks, know that that is a shadow that you just have to shine a light into. That's all. And once you do that, you're all the better for it. Nothing can stop you after that, you know. Hey, Clarice. Hi, Valerie. So, see the beauty in it. Yeah, I can say, except, yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yep. That is absolutely something that I am working on. Valerie said, if you see the beauty in everybody else, you must be able to recognize and accept it for yourself. I mean, it's true, you know, preaching to the choir sometimes. And that's another thing, too, is when you are divining for people, sometimes you need to really be listening to what you're telling the other person, because it's absolutely applicable for yourself, for the diviner, because I found a lot of in a lot of readings that I did in the past couple of weeks, I felt like, wow, I can kind of pick up some, some jewels here. I didn't say anything, but that's what I was feeling for sure. I don't think anything's wrong with that, though. Absolutely. You are your first student. I agree, Mama. Thank you, Keisha. I love you too. So thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I'm not going to stay on here too long. Trying to get into this whole um, live thing. We'll see. As you can see, my eyeballs are super red, and it's not because I've been partying. I'm just tired. So I wish you, all of you, love and blessings. Bright, bright, bright blessings. And even the dark ones. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Good night, ladies. Good night, babies. Everybody. Mwah.